I'm Dr. Sarah Klein, and I work at Stevens Institute of Technology, where I serve as the Vice President for Student Affairs. All the traditional channels of communication are somewhat ignored by this generation, right? I'll spend a lot of time crafting a really lovely email only to hear from students, oh yeah, I deleted that. I don't even check my my university email. So I understand that. We're really focused on Instagram. I spend, honestly, a significant part of my workday creating Instagram posts that are critical information that students need, and so do my staff. We have a whole system of how we post on social media. We've curated some very active accounts on social media, and we're very careful about how we use those accounts and when we use them and who posts on them and what is posted. I would say 30 or 40 years ago, when a student was entering college, at that time, mental health wasn't a conversation in our society. Also, folks who had significant mental health issues, there was no such thing as early intervention, right? There were not as many folks on psych meds. Now you have a generation of people who've had early intervention, thankfully, and have had a lot of resources. A lot of our students have been in therapy for many years or on different medications to help them, which is for many of our students why they're able to be at a college like this. Remember that they have their own identities, and it's really important that we interact with them in a way that they feel is respectful. And for a lot of student affairs staff, that means having a very good knowledge of diversity, equity, and inclusion, best practices, knowing to use pronouns, and knowing that not everybody goes by a pronoun that may seem like the pronoun you think they're going to use, knowing how to pronounce different names or how to respond if you don't know how to pronounce a student's name, knowing how to talk with a student who maybe has a difficult time with the language. Right? So some of those kinds of things at a very basic level, this generation of students expects that we all have that knowledge because it's so common in their generation to have that knowledge. College students are moving at a very fast pace, and sometimes it's different than other generations of folks, especially our own administrators at any university. So they're moving really fast, they expect situations to be resolved, and they want response. They don't want to be passed around as eras of colleges have done with a huge bureaucracy where we say, oh, we'll take that form to the registrar. Now you need this signature, right? And now you need this one from financial aid. They're beyond that, right? Society has moved on. These things are digital. They expect this to happen very quickly. We're educators. Right? When we speak with students, it shouldn't be as if a student, and no offense to the DMV, but sort of like a DMV interaction where there's not a lot of care. Right? We are a teacher, we are educators. We're not teachers in the classroom sense, but it needs to be that we're interacting with the student in a way that clearly shows that we care about the student.